Around the world, the Middle East is known as a centre of conflict. The name of the West Bank is synonymous with terror and oppression. Surely, this is no place for miracles. I'm not sure what your picture of the West Bank is, but this wasn't mine. A thriving, bustling city, Nablus. You've got fresh falafel being cooked on one side of the road, fresh juice stalls on the other. The people here are alive and searching for a better life. They may be trapped inside the checkpoints, but they're looking to the future, and the church is part of that future. This is the city of Nablus, situated in the occupied Palestinian territory of the West Bank. It's here that some of the remnant Christian Arab population maintains their faith in the Holy Land. They call themselves the Living Stones, so often ignored by the huge number of Christian pilgrims who visit Israel and Palestine to look at the dead stones that trace the path of the historical Jesus. The Arab Christians trace their faith back to the very first Pentecost and are proud of their 2,000-year-old heritage. Nablus is a city of some 200,000 people. Whereas 20 years ago there were 10,000 Christians here, there are now just 700 left, 160 of them Anglicans. This is not an easy city to live in. Some of the severest fighting of the Second Intifada occurred in Nablus, and for 3 years the city was virtually closed off from the outside world by Israeli checkpoints. Within the city, there was a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew enforced for 12 months, including 3 months of 24-hour curfew. To leave the house was to risk being shot. Even today, getting in and out of Nablus is a lottery for those without Israeli citizenship. To understand the intensity of the fighting during the Intifada and the resilience of the people of Nablus, it's important to visit some of the new sites of interest around the city. This building was the centre of the British, the Turkish and the Jordanian administrations, and then became the security centre for the Palestinian Authority. Then in 2002, during the Intifada, this building was hit by F-16s and tanks and virtually collapsed upon itself. Fortunately, the people of Nablus did not. In Nablus, the Anglican Church has witnessed a miracle of God's faithfulness. In spite of all the difficulties, in the Rafidia district of Nablus, the small congregation has managed to build a new church and a group of shops, the rent from which will help keep the church viable. Why build when the Christian population continues to decline? Father Hussam Naoum, for whom the parish at Nablus was his first posting, explains that it wasn't a matter of needing space, more a matter of fidelity.
Yes, building a new church in Rafidia and Nablus was another big challenge for us. It was a plan, maybe you will be surprised, for 90 years. So we started like in the year 99 to build the shops, but then because of the Intifada we stopped for I think 3 years almost. And then with the help of Bishop Riyah and the diocese, and with the help of the congregation, even the parish, helped so much in really making this dream coming a reality. And building a church in Nablus, I know that we don't need a church in terms of a capacity and in terms of space, because we have got one church in Nablus, which is big. But I think that was a sign to tell everybody that we as Christians, we still have hope that we will stay and we will continue to exist in this land, the land of the Holy One.
Apart from the church building, the Anglican presence in Nablus has been significant. For 105 years, St. Luke's Hospital has been serving the needs of the community, often providing medical care free of charge. During the Intifada, they treated anyone in need of assistance, regardless of which side they were on.
During the Intifada, we have treated hundreds of injured people coming to the hospital with sometimes very serious injuries. And these injuries cost really a lot of money. And then we don't charge them a penny, because we feel that this is a national obligation that we are doing. We can be called really the salt of the earth and the light of the world, because as Christians we are few in number, but I think what we're doing is far beyond our numbers.
The courage and faith of these Palestinian Christians is inspirational. Even in the face of the so-called separation wall being constructed to cut off Palestinian territory from Israeli territory, there is a resolute determination to respond with love, strength, and a call for justice, rather than with hatred and violence. I asked Father Hussam how he managed to maintain compassion while witnessing his culture and community being torn apart.
I believe deeply in my heart that if a person loves sincerely, can never hate. I think hate, if it enters somebody's heart, I think this is the end of love. And to love, I think, is to love fully. And we are Christians not because we, by name, being Christians, because we were baptized since our childhood, but I think as Christians we need to learn to love everybody. And I think to deal with that thing, you have to come to a complete wholeness and healing with yourself first and then with others. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy to love your enemy. But this is a challenge that was put in front of each one of us by Christ himself. And to deal with that issue, I think we need to learn that there is always hope.
Throughout Israel and the Palestinian territories, the Anglican Church is playing its part in the search for reconciliation. Arab Christians are living amongst their Muslim and Jewish neighbours in the land of Jesus' birth, hoping that one day peace will prevail. They desperately need the prayers and support of Christians around the world as they maintain a living witness of Christ's love.
And maybe our percentage is really low in terms of number, and as Anglicans here in the Holy Land, we are very few as well, a minority within a minority within a minority. But I think I am not the person to worry about the well-being of the church. This is God's work. And if we believe that Christ is present in the midst of the church, I think that is his issue. And I have to do what I've got to do, as I told you before, and this is what everybody should do.
فجري الوسيم أنت وحدك دعوت أنت وحدك رجوت أنت